Hey everybody, welcome. My name's Chris. This is my kitchen, and you're watching Chris's Kitchen Experiments. So, I've been thinking about this idea, doing a cooking show on YouTube for about the last year. Wasn't really sure where I wanted to start, so I thought, hey, you know what? Let's go back to the origins. Let's go back to the beginning of where I learned to cook. And that started with something I haven't eaten in 16 years because the last time I ate it, it was so terrible. And so today, I'm gonna introduce you to what got me into cooking. And then we're gonna mess it up, and then we're gonna have a little fun with it. All right, so without further ado, I give you ramen. I'm young, pretty broke, and I'm living on a steady diet of ramen packets like this. They're 7 cents at Aldi, and I'm tired of just eating plain noodles. So I'm thinking, hey, let's spice it up. I pick up 2 hot dogs from the gas station, chop them up, throw them in my beef packet, and mix it up. And honestly, I bet you can guess the results. It's not good. I'm disappointed. I get some Jimmy John's, maybe a pizza, and I move on. About a week later, I'm like, all right, let's try this again. So I go back, I get another 7-cent packet of ramen, I cook it up, I throw in 2 hot dogs from the gas station. This time, I add onions and a can of peas. And you know what? The result weren't any better. It was sadness in a bowl. And so it was at that moment, about the 3rd bite, where I was like, I've got to learn to cook because I cannot continue to eat ramen, and I cannot continue to afford to eat Jimmy John's or Papa John's every meal. We're on a journey back with me, 16 years, and we're going to recreate that dish. All right, folks, so here we got it. We got beef flavored ramen, canned peas, hot dog from the gas station, chopped up with some onions, cooked in the beef broth. All right, so this is the first time I've had it in 16 years. I'm not sure. You can see the steam coming off of it. It's pretty hot. Peas, my dog Gally, he's super excited about it. He knows he's gonna get some because, honestly, yeah, he knows he's gonna get some. So here we go. So let's get a good little mix of everything. And salty, kind of flavorless, and somehow leaves a interesting aftertaste. Let's see if we can get a little hot dog in there. Well, tastes about how I remember it. All right, so bowl of sadness has been eaten. If I'm being completely honest, the ramen wasn't half bad. My additions to it, those were bad calls. Before we get started, let's go ahead and take a look at what we're gonna do today. So for topping number 1, we're gonna do shrimp nests. So we've got 2 packets of the spicy shrimp noodles. We're gonna cook them. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 prawns. We've got about 2 tablespoons of smoked paprika, half a diced onion, 2 tablespoons of garlic. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna cook them all up. We're gonna put them into a muffin tin, and then we're gonna bake it so they look like little shrimp nests. All right, so we've got the cooked and drained noodles. We're gonna put that in there. We're gonna put the garlic, smoked paprika. We got the soup packets from the spicy shrimp noodles. Since we did 2 packs, we're doing 2 flavor bumps. We got those onions that I went ahead and sauteed in a little bit of butter just to give them a little bit of crisp and flavorfulness. We'll put that in there. Take this, we're gonna mix all that up so that flavor gets all good in there and gets a nice bright red. So then once we've got them all nice and mixed up, we're gonna space them out evenly in the muffin pans. That is sprayed with non-stick. It's gonna leave a little bit of residual in the bowl. So what I did is threw the shrimp in there, mixed it all up nice and good, and then we're gonna place each prawn into his nest, like so. Now everything in this is cooked except for the shrimp, which they're gonna bake in there. I'm hoping that those noodles are gonna get kind of crispy, kind of crunchy. All that seasoning in there is gonna make them stick together. And so one of these nests is gonna be without a prawn because I can't count. Then we're gonna take this leftover goodness, we'll put it in the prawnless nest. And so then we're gonna set that aside. We're gonna bake that closer to when everyone gets here. You got a nice little crunch on there. You can see there. We just topped it with a little bit of the green onion and the cilantro. So we'll see what people think. What'd you say, Casey, about the
My suggestion, while it's very good to counteract some of the spice, which isn't too much, is maybe like a drizzle of like thinned out sour cream or some Mexican cream.
I like that idea a lot, actually. The
very good.
The sour cream. So for this tapa, we're gonna use 4 simple ingredients. We've got our beef flavored ramen, we got our chicken longanisa, 2 eggs, and dill chips. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cook the beef ramen. We're gonna let it cool. We're gonna mix it with the egg. We're gonna form it into patties, and then we're gonna let it sit in the fridge overnight, kind of chill and gelatinize. And then tomorrow, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the beef ramen patties. We're gonna fry them in a frying pan. Cook the sausage, make little sliders with them, top them with a pickle. So we've got our cooked, now cooled noodles. We got our 2 eggs, and we got our beef flavoring packet. We're gonna take the beef flavoring packet. We're gonna put it in there with the noodles. Make sure we get all that salty goodness, that MSG, that stuff that'll make our arteries clog instantly. We're gonna take our 2 eggs, put them in there. We're gonna take a fork and mix it up nice and good. The idea, mix it up real good. So now we've got that tasty mess all mixed up. We're gonna lay out some wax paper, and we're gonna squeeze out and make them into little balls, and then flatten them. So I made 9 little nests. They're a little bit flattened. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move them with the wax paper, put it into a Pyrex dish, and then put something on top of it, or put some more wax paper, something on top of it, so they kind of flatten. Honestly, they're not as sticky as I was hoping, so what I'll probably do is right before I fry them, throw them in the freezer so they harden a little bit, and then they'll just flash fry, just so they can get a little bit of crisp, and we'll do open-faced sandwiches. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous about these things falling apart in the frying pan though. So we got the oil going hot. I've got remember what we made last night? These are the beef flavored patties. We're gonna see if we can't get them a little fried to make those open face sandwiches. Some of them got a little oblong shaped. But first up, we got the little chicken sliders. So I'm gonna take open face, then we're gonna add the pickle, and voila.
First question is, how do I eat it?
Not particularly sure.
Well, we're gonna
Just bite it.
just go for this, just a good taste of the ramen. So far, so good.
First one were little sausage sliders.
All right, first impressions on the sausage slider.
Good.
Truly
Good.
delicious.
Sweet,
Delicious.
salty.
I would suggest cutting it up in order to eat it better. Like so.
Casey, did you have a sausage slider?
I did. I could have 2 or 3. It's a good way to start. I could have all of them.
Next up, we've got chicken roll-ups. So we've got 2 chicken breasts cut in half, pounded real thin. We've got the water chestnuts, the baby corn, 2 fresh jalapenos. We're gonna do 2 packets of this barbecue chicken flavor ramen. And then we've got the leftover of the peas from the bowl of sadness from last night. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix all these ingredients. We're gonna chop up the water chestnuts a little bit more. We're gonna put it in the chicken. We're gonna roll it up, put some skewers in it, just to kind of keep it together. We're gonna bake that then. And then I've got the flavoring from the ramen that's gonna go in with that. And then also on top of it. So this barbecue chicken one is kind of fancy. It's called Bawangarang. And it's got fried onion and boombu seasoning, but it also gives you all this in a single packet. So we got 2 of those, so we're gonna mix them all with the noodles, but I'm gonna hold this stuff back and I'm gonna put it on the chicken directly and see how it goes. Take our 2 seasoning packets, throw them in to the cooked and drained noodles. Take up our chopped vegetables, put them in there. Make sure we got all of that. Take that, mix it all up. Yep, that smells like sodium. Oh boy. So we're gonna let that cool a little bit more, and then we're gonna roll that up into our chicken, put some skewers in it to hold it together, and then we're gonna bake it in the oven with the oil on top of it.
So we're gonna take chicken, take a little bit of mixed noodles, which with that soy sauce and that barbecue sauce that came in it, makes them a little sticky. Do that. Take some of the mixed vegetables, the water chestnuts, the baby corn, the jalapenos, the bowl of peas, the peas from the bowl of sadness. And we're gonna kind of roll it on up, just like so. Get that in nice and stuffed. I'm gonna take a couple toothpicks just to help it come together. Voila! MSG. I don't know, it's interesting, so we're gonna use that, kind of spread it on. That one's kind of clumpy, but we'll figure that out. We'll let that get that looking good. It's not really liquid. I thought it was gonna be a little bit more liquid when I started this. But I'm gonna spread that in, get them looking good, bake them until the chicken is done, and then when they're done, let it rest for a second, and we'll cut that, each of these into either half or third. We'll just see how it looks once it comes out, so it's either gonna make 8 or 12 tapas. So we'll figure that out as we go along. So I'm just down in, then we're gonna and use that to get the rest of it and make it all flavorful oil. I've never seen this. They've made some advances in ramen technology in the last 16 years, I guess, and we're in new uncharted territory for me. So let's see how it turns out.
Roll up. So we're gonna cut it open. And it did end up making 3. It stayed together actually fairly nicely. And you can see on the inside we got a nice little coloring. I'm afraid though the oil has dried out the chicken a little bit. But let's see how it goes.
So I was really looking forward to this one because I love water chestnuts and baby corn and chicken. However, I think it would be really good with some sort of sauce. I think overall it's a little dry and a little lackluster.
You're saying that because Casey said that?
No, that was a different dish, Joshua.
What was a different dish?
A little more
But I do
flavor.
think some flavor with a nice sauce would really round it out and make it
A good
Yeah.
texture.
Flavor's not doing much for me.
But the flavor, it's just something to work on.
Yeah.
And it is impressive.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I don't love ramen, so.
What? I feel like I've been lied to.
So for this tapa, we're gonna do a cold ramen salad. We got an onion ramen that I've cooked and now cooled. We've got one tomato kind of chopped into chunks. We've got cucumbers cut into little wheels, and we're gonna make a dressing using rice vinegar and lime juice, plus the onion flavoring. And so we'll mix that up, serve it chilled. Once we mix all those ingredients, we're gonna add the chopped cilantro and chopped green onion. Cucumbers, we're gonna take a little bit of the rice, we're gonna mix it in there. The rice vinegar, a little splash in there. I'm not gonna put any salt like I normally would in a salad like this because honestly, we're going to have sodium levels through the wazoo tonight. But we got the onion flavoring packet. I'm gonna squeeze in the lime juice. Find out that you got a cut in your finger, never fails. That's why I'm doing this with this hand, because I found out that I have one on my left pinky right now that I didn't know was there. I'm gonna squeeze that in there. Take the cold noodles. Add the cilantro and green onions. Give that a stir. And then, so we got the cold ramen salad, as you can see. We've got the cucumbers, the onions, the tomatoes. We're topping it with cilantro and then lime wedge. And then we're gonna serve that nice and chilled. It's gonna be, I think, the big break from all the sodium that we're about to consume. I just pull it up in the side so you can kind of see how it looks. It's kind of a pretty thing for this. So which one's your favorite?
Cup of ramen salad.
Cup of ramen salad. What do you think?
They're good. I
Yeah.
squeezed the lime on there. That was a nice fresh.
I don't know.
All right, next topic we're gonna do is stuffed mushrooms. So we've got these portobello mushroom caps. I've parboiled them. I've go ahead and pulled the stems out. We're gonna take some of our water chestnuts, our baby corn, and then we got this Thai holy basil. We're gonna drop it in there. We're gonna blend that up, stuff the mushrooms. So that's all blended up. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it, we're gonna stuff each mushroom. And you might be wondering, Chris, there's no ramen yet in this recipe. Oh, don't worry. There's gonna be ramen. Otherwise, then what's the point of doing this cooking show episode? So we stuff it. Doesn't have to look super neat. It's gonna be a ooey mess anyway by the time you bake it all. Actually, that smells really good. The water chestnut, the basil. I love basil, so pretty much put basil on anything and be good. We got people arriving, so there's going to be some noise in the background. Just ignore that. All right, so I've taken this flavor of the beef packet of ramen, kind of crushed it up. We're going to use this kind of like as breadcrumbs. Put it on top. And then when we bake it in the oven, we're going to hit that with a spray of oil. So it'll get nice and golden crisp, hopefully. Like that. Like that. And when it gets ready to go in the oven, I'll let you know. Last up, we've got the stuffed mushrooms. Crispy noodles on top.
Napa cabbage and
Might need to
the
bite into
ramen.
it.
You break it up and you marinate it.
Yeah.
And it's got like a dressing of
That's a good idea.
apple cider vinegar and
Yeah,
Mine's good easy.
All right, we're gonna see what Gally thinks. Gally, what you think?
and mushrooms.
Have the ramen? It's a good crunch.
Best day ever.
Yeah. Sophie? Sophie, what'd you think of the ramen?
So hot.
Sophie!
They don't eat with their eyes first.
That's good. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. The mushroom is pretty good.
Is it?
Nice flavor, nice texture.
I love
Nice consistency.
I like it.
Did it start?
Yeah. That's an error. Caused by this guy right here.
Everybody's fault.
Fire him.